Well, here we are, back at the Formosa build. Now, we're at the point where we're going to install the motor. Here's the stock stick it comes with. We usually go in that slot, we epoxy that in, then we use a screw, we bolt the motor on there. And that would be it. That'd be done. Like the GWS way. But I'm not going to use this motor mount or the brush motor. I want to use this big brushless motor. So on an EPP foam, I cut this little mount. I'm going to glue it on there, and then I'm going to glue the motor on there. And I know that's just about perfectly centered, and will come out just where it's supposed to in the cowl. Okay, so got this mount made. I'll be able to glue my motor to this piece of EPP foam. It's epoxy. I'll glue the motor on like that, and then this gets glued on the front of the plane. First, we'll mix some epoxy and get this glued. Got the epoxy, and we'll take it, we'll apply it around mainly the outside. I don't want it on the shaft, that's for sure. So we'll apply all the epoxy here, and don't get any of the shaft of the epoxy. I'll apply my piece of plywood I have the motor mounted to. And apply pressure and hold this for 5 minutes. I have this epoxied to my mount now. Now I have to test fit on the front here. Make sure that it fits with the cowl. So I'll test fit that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so marked on the nose of the plane here where I've got to glue this new EPP foam motor and motor mount. So when I'm done, I'm going to glue this right here with epoxy. Then I use the cowl to make sure the prop would come out in the center. Now I make sure that it's offset a degree or two to the right, and everything should be just fine. The Formosa doesn't need a huge out of degrees, so we'll put it a degree or two, and I'll do that by cutting a little bit off the back here, making sure that it just goes to the right a bit. I've got the epoxy mixed. I'm going to apply it to this surface. And don't waste any. The last of it on this big flat surface. Now, put these two pieces where they belong. Okay. Remember, I marked the lines so that we know where this goes. I know you can't see well now, but you understand. And the line's marked. So now I'm gluing this on the front of the airplane. I'll have to hold it here for 5 minutes, and we'll be right back. Now, I use styrofoam, a piece of wood, mount my motor. I'm going to put the cowl on. The wires are inside. The motor comes out dead centered, just like it's supposed to. I can mount my prop like that. So I know I now have my motor installed. Now the next thing to do is run the wiring, put the electronic speed control in, and we're off. Now that's the question, is where do we run the wiring for the ESC? I know I need to be up top with this plug for the battery, and I know that I gotta bring those down here for the receiver. So with that there, this here, I have a problem. These wires aren't gonna reach. So what do I make the extension for? For the wires or the power? We'll have to decide that. We'll be back. But I think I'll make the power longer. Put the ESC inside here, hooked up to here, inside here, and we'll just make these two wires longer. That'll be the easiest thing to do. Then the receiver goes inside here. This goes in here. The motor wires here inside the body. And the wing goes on. I can paint it, or I could fly it. It's ready to fly. That's about it. Just a couple more videos, I guess. Well, look what I found in the spare parts department. 3 sets of pre-made extensions for the power motor. So I'm going to do that instead. And we're going to have to sort of drill a hole through here so we can put the wires through and hook them up to the ESC. I'm going to drill that hole, or plan to. Be right back and we'll do that. So I put the extensions on, drill a hole through here, go inside here. Now I've got the wires partially through, and pull them out here. There. Get the 3 wires come through now to here. Plug my ESC in. And receiver stays down here. Wire comes out. Now I get the rudder. And another wire. Now, when you build this with a single servo configuration in the wing, you have to be way more careful underneath here, because this is where all the servo linkage for the wing is. But since we don't have that, and we've run individual ailerons to the wings, elevators, ailerons, we can do this under here. And we don't have to worry about the linkage point on our